This playthrough is rated M for mature.
Greetings and salutations, viewers. Vauldemare back here with another episode of Jade Empire. The last episode, we took a few steps before we got hit with the exposition bomb from a lady and her daughter, and then we ran into Hui, or Hu, or however you want to pronounce it. I know the game said like Hui or whatever. And she told us about her working for the glorious Sun Li and how she's supposed to train us in new techs or new abilities and stuff like that. So we got a bit of a earful from that. How Sagacious Zoo saved a child apparently a long time ago and other such things, that we batted that away because it wasn't important to us. We also convinced the lady to give us her life savings. Hooray! We're heroes. Anyway, let's continue on as we explore Tian's Landing. Hello, Tay. Tay to
Who
see.
let you back here? Bad enough I must work with incompetence. I don't need you walking through my kitchen. Do thugs like you think you can just walk back here for food anytime? If I wanted human interaction, I'd have a kiosk in the square. Or maybe a trough.
Why a trough? Well, we don't feed the animals, Mr. Tay. That's handled by the farmers.
Step back, Mr. Wong. You just step back.
Why does that conversation feel like that's a reference to a movie or something like that that I don't, even I don't, after all these years, remember what that's from. That feels like that's something like that. But anyway, okay, so anyway, did not mean to disturb you. That's not appropriate. Greeting, cook. You shall show me the proper respect, dog.
You see, Mr. Wong? That is how we are regarded. Dogs to be brushed aside. Talk like that will not get you a meal at the best of times.
Perhaps you don't want a fist to the face or silver in your palm. I want to ask you about something. Need information about Spirit's Land, Tin's Land, Spirit World. So we threaten them, and then we're like, "Hey, answer our questions." I want to ask something. I want to ask something about you.
Me? There's nothing to know about me. I cook for ungrateful people who do not understand what good food is.
Your palate is very sophisticated, Mr. Tay. Some say your dishes are, acquired tastes.
No, I am quite certain that the problem is with the customers. If you wish to keep your position, Mr. Wong, you will smile and nod.
We've got an Otair cook here. Huh? Only my cooking is the best of the best. Nothing but like, nothing lower than that is but garbage onto mine. Very harsh with your assistant. Yeah, I don't know why we'd say that because we don't care, but you're very harsh with your assistant.
Mr. Wong is here to cut the vegetables and heft the rice bags. His job does not include criticizing the menu. I am the head chef. He is nothing.
But I am learning. I will train hard to become the best chef I can.
There's a small chance he could become slightly more than nothing, but I've seen no sign of it as yet. Some people are heroes, some merely clap as heroes walk by.
That sounds like you two, because I don't see main character stamped on your forehead. So, what do you know about the spirit world?
The spirit world? You were talking about stories for children. I believe what I see. If I see it, it is real. Very simple. If you want some deeper discussion than that, go to a temple. Me, I will stay here and cook for the living.
Well, at least I know what he at least I know what he stands for most of the time. I'm kind of like that in real life. I'm like the same thing. If I see it, I'll believe it. But if I don't see it, well, I mean, I don't completely unbelieve it. But you know what I mean? Like, you know, pictures or it didn't happen, that type of thing. You don't believe in spirits?
I hear stories just like everyone else, but they are always told by some scared farmer who wouldn't know the wind from a howl. I believe what I see. That's enough.
Well, I can't hate you for that. I need more information about Tian's Landing.
Then go walk around it. I do not waste my time collecting rumors. Everybody eats. That is all I need to know.
And you really don't want more from your life, do you? All right, I'm leaving.
Good. I need to concentrate on the menu. You want to eat, you'll leave me alone.
Why do I feel like the only people that eat at his place are like people who are like super rich and they believe they're eating something good because clearly they have the money for it, when it's actually not good for you? Yeah, but anyway, for some reason can't get over to that guy. Although I doubt he adds more to the conversation. I assume the cook is the big instigator of the conversation. But we'll talk to the dishwasher. Maybe he has some insight.
I can't speak with you. Mr. Tay is very strict with his apprentices.
Ah, I see. I didn't think so after his treatment of or after Tay's treatment of him. So, all right, let's go inside the tea house and talk to Hui and whoever else might have a bit of information. Yeah, if we want some more exposition dump, we're gonna have to talk to Hui on that. I guess I don't think we actually have to talk to her again after that. I think we can actually skip her for the most part, I think, because she gave us the spirit thing. I think that was the biggest thing we had to learn from her. I do find it funny the last episode how they talk about how we had a lander. If we just passed by her, that would have meant that like the last 20 years of our life or whatever long would have been completely worthless. That she missed her lot in life or whatever, or her task. But anyway.
Good, you're here. We can continue where we left off before.
You've got unfinished business with us first.
There are important matters at hand, yet you fellows keep interrupting. I'm surprised you're this eager to get another beating so soon.
This time we brought some friends to even up the odds.
You guys are just here to have a tutorial, aren't you? But anyway. Yeah, didn't we, like, I was about to say, some of the returns, like, didn't I, on some of you dudes, didn't I, like, huh, that's weird, it didn't let me automatically kill him. Huh. Well then. maybe these guys won't let me do that too. Oh, come on, man. Alright, we'll have to do another method of, that looks like... Oh, come on! Huh, yeah, it's not letting me insta-kill him. Huh. Okay. Maybe this guy's specifically stronger, but yeah, it looks like Sagacious Sue is out, so... Alright, well, I guess not all enemies can be, Actually, this might be a good idea to, test out Spirit Thief, actually. I wonder if that's the point of it. No, better, okay, let me heal myself first, and then we'll do that. Alright, let me switch to... Yeah, Spirit Thief, and I'll show you how that works. Alright, so we're probably going to end up using this a lot, but basically you just smack him, and yeah, you can see my I think there is a, yeah, there is like a strong attack, which gives you a decent amount of, key without having to be, without having to be like right next to them. So, but yeah, we'll probably end up using this attack quite regularly. You do get more, you do get more cheat if you decide to straight up attack them instead of that. I just need to. Actually, maybe I should switch out my to that. Oh no, I was gonna. Yeah, that's what I was trying to do. Ow. Yeah. Excuse me. Alright. Yeah, too bad the game's not letting me insta kill him though. That's kind of weird. Usually I can, but for some reason in this case I'm not allowed to. Yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe because it's a tutorial level, or maybe they're like mini bosses or whatever you want to call it. Oh, one of the few instances of weapon drops in a combat. So sometimes, this doesn't happen often, but sometimes in a map when you destroy like something, improvised weapons will appear, like in the shape of, in this case, in the case of in the case of broken chair legs, which actually does a decent amount of damage. Okay, so, which, like I said, doesn't happen all the time. Ooh, got kind of lucky there. We were, because of the fact I couldn't do the whatever that ability is where you can like insta kill them, it had to result to improvised weapons. Yeah, it's a cool little feature.
You certainly look like Lee's top student, though there's something odd about how you fight. I can't put my finger on it. It doesn't matter. The sailors won't bother us again. We can get back to business. Sun Lee gave me instructions to await you if anything should happen. I have prepared for this day for well over a decade.
Why does people keep talking about, like, I fight weird all of a sudden? That's never happened in the beginning of the game. Now they're popping it up all over the place. It's like telling a man they're inadequate for some reason, you know, without giving a good explanation. Perhaps you should stop that. Yeah, that's probably nothing. Try to speed this up. I have other things to do. How do you say Master Lee knew he'd be kidnapped? How do you know Master Lee again? You know, realistically, I want to choose this just to be a dick, but I also don't want to, like, deprive you precious viewers of dialogue or finding out what happened and all this other saying. So, how do you know Master Lee again?
I served him in the Imperial Army, but right now I have things you must know, so set aside your questions and listen carefully. Sun Li asked me to seek a piece of a special amulet he wanted you, his prize pupil, to have. It was broken apart and scattered when the Spirit Monk Temple fell. He intended to, and I assume he did, give the main piece to you. Rumor placed a smaller part with a fleeing apprentice monk, but it had been some years and the trail was cold.
Yeah, that watery tart the dragon told us about this. So you search for the rest of the name. Oh, or could you speed this up a little? Where's the monk? So you search for the rest of the amulet?
I eventually learned the monk had fled to Old Tien's Landing. He was there a year or so, but died of lingering injuries and was buried with his possessions unsorted. It was rushed at the time because the new dam was due to close and Old Tien's would become a watery tomb. The amulet was beyond reach, so I came here and waited. Now the Lotus assassins have drained the lake and exposed the ruins of Old Tien's Landing. It seems they are searching for this piece of the Spirit Monk amulet too.
Apparently this amulet is a lot more important than we give it credit for, despite it being ability to upgrade our gems and all that other stuff. How do they know about it?
The Emperor is privy to much. I don't know his motives, but any aid to you is likely a threat to him. You must go to the ruins and find the amulet piece meant for you.
Actually, now that I think about it, why was she kind of having weird... When I was discussing about Lee and what she is, I wonder why she stuttered there for a second. Yeah, it's probably nothing. I want to ask you some questions. What if my flyer had functioned properly? You'd waited for nothing.
I choose to believe that my service was valuable and vital. You would have come here eventually. The amulet would draw you at least.
Well, sorry. Just recording this a little later. Even if the amulet had drawn me here, I wouldn't have had to go to Tien's Landing, especially if I knew where I was going. So, you know. How long... I want to ask you a question. How long have you been waiting for me? I have a lot of heavy... How long have you been waiting for me?
It is coming on 15 years now. As I said, I learned the location of the amulet after the monk died in Old Tien's. It has been difficult serving and waiting in silence.
Geez, 15 years? I assume you've been doing things other than just waiting here, like helping out or getting a job or whatever, because that seems like a glorious waste of your life. You must have really respected Master Lee to follow his quest to a T. I would have given up after like a month. I'd be like, oh, I'm out of here. I want to ask you some questions.
My assignment is to give you information to help you acquire the amulet. I will gladly answer whatever questions I can.
Well, thank you. Can you tell me more about the amulet?
I only know that I had to find the piece I was tracking. I did so. It is in the ruins. You must find it before the Lotus assassins do. You will need it to help your master.
Yeah, well, Master did help me, so... How do I get to the ruins?
The gates leading to the ruins are locked, but Minister Shang can give you the key. You can find him in the town square, the highest point in Tien's Landing. I suspect the minister is eager to have someone investigate the opening of the Great Dam. You can use this as an excuse to get the key and explore the ruins.
Even if we don't care about opening the dam or closing the dam or whatever, we still need it, so, you know, we use it to our advantage. Can you tell me anything else about the Spirit Thief style?
You are wise to ask. It is a difficult but essential skill to master.
When should I switch to Spirit Thief?
Spirit Thief is always useful. It is common to get run down or injured during battle, and you can tire yourself even further concentrating your chi to aid yourself. When you are feeling such a drain on your resources, switch to Spirit Thief, and each successful blow will restore you slightly.
The drain will not hamper your opponent, however.
I wish it kind of could. That'd make it even doubly useful. But the ability to get key at any point is kind of a big deal, so it's used for a lot of things. Do you have a favorite tactic you could share?
If you power through an opponent's guard with its strongest attack, it can briefly immobilize an enemy. During this, you can concentrate and increase the restoration. If you use that time to attack with another style, be careful. Your opponent may not be as vulnerable as they seem, and one must never be overconfident of victory.
Gotcha. Go over the basics with me again. We already know about that. Actually, let me check and see what that actually says. Go over the basics of it again.
Spirit Thief does no damage to your opponent. Each successful hit instead restores your chi a small amount. This allows you to continually make use of other abilities. Magic styles tax you, wear you down, as does concentrating your chi to heal. Use Spirit Thief to restore yourself and stay at your best almost indefinitely.
Okay. Let me ask you something else.
My assignment is to give you information to help you acquire the
I can
amulet.
just skip that. Let's see. We already asked her about the amulet. I think do you have any idea where I can find a new flyer?
Pirates have raided local villages using flyers, swooping down like locusts. Minister Shang said he would stop them, but his promises have done nothing. You can find Shang near his still smoldering office in the center of town. I'm sure he will welcome your assistance, even if your reasons are your own.
I see. All right. Well, we'll check it out. I mean, we were going to do that eventually. So, Spirit, a question about you. Tell me what you know about the water dragon.
It is said that the water dragon is the shepherd of the dead and a symbol of life and restoration. Beyond that is philosophy, and not for a soldier to know. As you see, I know little about the celestial powers. I knew less before Sun Li asked this service of me. I thought such beings were beyond physical assault. I was mistaken. I don't know how the attack was made or what blade could cut the heart from a god, but I do know that any man who would attempt such a plan is arrogant beyond imagining.
Well, you gotta respect it, even if it's arrogant or whatnot. Well, what do they say in D&D terms? If you stat it, PCs will kill it. Same thing with this. If you know that a god is physical, someone will try to kill it, no matter what. I have a question. I have questions about you.
I am unimportant, but I promised I would aid you as best I can, so ask your questions.
Huh. At least you're willing to admit you're just an NPC that we'll probably never meet again after this point, so... Tell me about you and Master Li.
There is little to tell. I served him years ago in the Imperial Army. I was a tracker and a soldier. I was not at Dirge when it fell, but I heard the tale of Sun Li's death. But I refused to believe he was dead. In time, my faith was confirmed. He sought me out and told me what really happened. I swore my loyalty to him on the spot. I revere him as a teacher, and I revere him. Even when he ordered me to distant lands, my loyalty never wavered. But I am tired. I long for an end to my service.
Sounds like she did a bit more than revered him, but at this point, she probably revered him at the beginning, but now she's like, all right, can I go on and go get laid or something? No, but, you know, try to be free of her commitment. You sound regretful.
Sun Li is a great man, driven by greater goals and ideals. Sometimes his gaze is lifted so high that he does not see what is right in front of him. We who serve him are sometimes forgotten, left to toil in obscurity until the time to act is thrust upon us. So it was with me, waiting for you.
So he's one of those people that's like so intelligent that sometimes he just forgets like little details, like the hearts and minds of those he uses, that type of thing. Like a supreme strategist. There are some people that believe in pure tactics and don't care about the human element, so which makes sense in some cases. So I could use another fighter. Come with me. More party members.
I cannot. I have done my part. I have given Sun Li my loyalty and devotion. Now I am empty. I have nothing left. I see an end to my long service. I welcome it. I will give you what guidance and information I can, but that is all I will do.
Yeah, she was in love with him, or at least, if not in love, she like really respected him and like admired him. Like, you know how people get obsessed with like a celebrity or something like that. It was one of those two. Why has Master Lee never mentioned you?
That would be a question for him, wouldn't it? I can only say that Sun Li devoted his life to raising you, to one day right the wrongs in the Jade Empire. If he wanted to keep some small part of his own life and thoughts for himself, who are you to question that? Everyone must have their private side.
That's true. I'm a very big fan of my private side, let me tell you. And no, not like that. Perverts. So yeah, I can't get more party members. I think that's it. Let me click that really quick just to see. No, I guess we're done. I have a lot ahead of me. I should go.
Remember, go to the ruins and claim the amulet before the Lotus Assassins do. You will need it to survive the trials that lie ahead.
And that's pretty much it. We don't have to talk to Hui for the rest of the game if we don't want to, which, unfortunately, there's really not much more she can add. It's like she said herself, she is not a main character, so there's not much else we can add. Oh, we've already gained another level. Let's talk to patrons.
I hoped Minister Shang had come here looking for a wife, but all he wants is to get back to the Imperial City.
If Three Sheets keeps running this place so poorly, he's going to lose his customers.
3 Sheets? What kind of name is 3 Sheets exactly? Heh. There's like all these like random patrons. I don't think I'll... Oh. Mr. Shang said nothing about this pirate. Someone should complain to the Emperor about him. Yeah, the Emperor probably doesn't care.
This place is too crowded with all these sailors here.
Let's see. Just random guard.
Dutong says he hired me because I'm big as an ox and just as smart.
You're doing fine there, buddy. Let's see, steeper, so we can go outside. What we got here? Oh, we got a quest because you got a little arrow on you. Great. Let's see, Mother Quan, Yanru, and then I think we've got upstairs as well. We can check out. Okay, well, let's talk to 3 Sheets because apparently he owns this place. Sorry about your table, dude.
If you want tea, have a seat. The serving girl will be by directly if I don't fire her first, the useless wench. I should have replaced her the day I took over this tea house.
Oh, you own this tea house, huh? Yeah, exactly. Who are you? I want to ask some questions. You own this tea house?
I am 3 Sheets Dutong, proud owner of this quaint little tea house. I recently acquired it from old Mother Quan, the elderly lady steeping tea over there in the corner.
Oh, yeah, that lady we could have talked to. Huh. So, well, I mean, she probably couldn't, wait, why is she still working here if she, Seems like there's more to this. But anyway, we'll ask you some questions.
You want me to throw this troublemaker out in the street, boss?
Don't be stupid. You saw what this man did to those sailors. He'd leave you broken and bleeding on the floor, and I have no one to clean up the mess. Forgive my guard. His intentions are good, but he's a bit slow on the uptake. I'd love to answer your questions, but that would interrupt my drinking. I'm afraid that isn't acceptable.
Well, I gotta respect a man who cares for his drink, I guess. Who are you?
Oh,
well, we already asked that. Never mind. I guess those two questions were basically the same.
Good. Go away. I haven't even started to feel the effects of my wine yet, and you're already giving me a headache.
Although this guy's attitude does make me want to punch him. All right, Steeper Yanru, what's your story?
Hello, greetings, welcome. My name is Steeper Yanru, and I'll be... No, that's not right at all. Idiot. I'm Barkeep Yanru now, not Steeper Yanru. I'm sorry about that. I still can't get the hang of this new position. Sometimes I wish old Mother Quan still owned the tea house so things could go back to the way they were.
Well, you know, things must change, dude. You can't have things stay the way they are forever. But let's ask the obvious question. Did the TOs change owners recently? Well, that's not the question I was thinking about, but, you know, let's get started.
Old Mother Quan used to run the place until Dutong bought it. Well, buy isn't quite right. It's complicated. Talk to Mother Quan if you want the whole story. I used to steep the tea here. They called me Steeper Yanru. But now Dutong says I'm going to be the new barkeep. I'll have to give out advice and wine in equal doses.
Oh, is it require? Oh, maybe that's. I wonder if that's a joke on like D&D, where bartenders are supposed to just have all the gossip or know everything. I mean, that's the thing in D&D. You always go to the bar and ask the barkeep like, what's the new word and all that. So that's probably the reference there, I bet. Or I mean, I could be wrong, but yeah, give me some advice.
Sure. Just remember, I'm pretty new at this. I'm still practicing. Let's try this one. Every bureaucrat knows a tree grows toward the light, but a rock grows not at all.
What does that mean exactly, game? What does that mean?
I have no idea. Dutong just had me memorize a bunch of wise sayings. None of them make much sense to me. Maybe they'll sound better if people drink the wine.
You know what? That makes sense. If they're drinking the wine, they'll believe anything is whimsical and wise. Tell me more about Dudong.
I can't say too much about him. He's my boss, after all. Mostly, he just sits in the corner and drinks his wine until he gets drunk. It's a shame Mother Quan had to give the place up. She didn't waste her days getting drunk, and she didn't make me practice giving out advice all day so I could become a barkeep.
Give it up? What do you mean? Yeah, what do you mean?
It's complicated. If you want the whole story, talk to old Mother Quan. I'll just keep practicing my advice.
Alright. Let me ask for some more advice. Let's see if he's got any other gems.
The wise man will always remember that falling leaves spiral downwards, but only until they rest on the earth.
Yeah, I don't know what that means either.
I have no idea.
Alright.
Just had me memorize.
Let me see if he's got any other random dialogue he can say.
I kind of like this next one. If you drop a rock in a well, you'll hear a splash. But if you drop a feather in a fire, you'll hear something very different.
A feather in a fire, you'll hear a whoosh. What does that mean? Of course it's the same. Any others?
Here's a short one. If you must sleep on the same bed, at least try to dream different dreams.
Yeah, I don't know what that means either.
When one's foot knows what one's hand is doing, one is dangerous. But if the belly button has not been consulted, havoc will ensue.
Does that have to do with eating or something? Wasn't there like one cartoon or one Nutcracker cartoon where someone's stomach was real or alive or something dumb like that? Anyway, any other advice?
Sorry, but Dutong only had me memorize 5 sayings. You bled me dry earlier. I have no more advice left. Is there anything else you need?
Well, what good are you? Bam, and they just punch him in the face. But no, I'd like some wine.
Slow down, my friend. I can't serve you wine yet. I'm not a real barkeep. Master Dutong just has me practicing, so I'll be ready when he turns this place from a tea house into a tavern. Master Dutong wants me to practice giving out advice for now. He wants me to stay focused until I get the hang of it. No wine, except for him, of course. You want some advice?
No, I already asked you for all your advice, so goodbye, worthless.
Farewell. Take care. If you ever need any advice, I'll be right here, handing it out like a barkeep should. Goodbye.
Well, the next 5 sayings of advice, sure, but that's it. So, all right, let's talk to old Mother Quan and see what the quest is.
Hello, young one. My name is Quan, but everyone calls me Old Mother Quan. I'd like you to call me that too, okay? Welcome to my tea house. Oh, that's not right. No, not anymore. Sorry about the confusion, dearie. What I meant to say was, welcome to Master Dutong's tea house.
What you want us to call you old woman Quan? Isn't there something about like women not calling them old even though they're actually old, you know? Not that I would actually I do that in real life because I'm kind of a dick. But I'm like one of those people that people know I'm a dick like when I'm like that, so they kind of take that with a bit of a laugh, but anyway. You stone there. What do you do here?
Oh, I steep the tea and help clean the tables when Yanwan gets too busy. Pretty much what I used to do back when I owned the place.
By the way, I have no idea what steeping tea is because I am completely unaware of how tea is made, either newer or older tea. I assume older tea had like a specific method of doing it, so do not even ask me what that means. Where can I get a drink?
I'm afraid you will have to wait your turn, dearie. Waitress Yanwan is very busy. I'm sure she'll get to you in time. Oh, poor girl. Master Dutong works her too hard. If I still owned this place, she'd get far more than the few coins he gives her each week. But I guess he's in charge now.
Reminds me of a lot of capitalists, and you're like, I'm gonna save money and keep it all to myself. I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole. Let me tell you. You used to own this tea house?
Yes, I owned the tea house for many, many years. At least I thought I did. But then Master Dutong came to town with that imperial writ. Oh my, wasn't that a shock? Turns out his family owns this land. They have for hundreds of years. The land is his along with everything on it, so now he owns my tea house too. He was nice enough to let me stay on here as a helper. I steep the tea. Yanwan takes the orders, and Master Dutong, well, he mostly just drinks his wine.
So, yeah, his family has just popped in somewhere and just said he had a writ and he owns the land? Isn't there some law about, like, or in some countries there's some law that if someone does own the land for some reason, but someone's established a business on there for so long, you can't just, like, take it away from them or something like that? And it's not squatters' rights. That's something else, which... That's a whole other can of worms. I am not even going to touch when we mention that. That's an whole other thing. But anyway, I don't know. I mean, obviously this is a different world with its own rules. I'm just talking. Anyway, you don't know you owned the land when you built the place. Did you check the writ to make sure it was real? Yeah. You didn't know you owned the land when you built the place?
No one knew. This was just an empty patch of rock for hundreds of years. Who would have thought the Empire had deeded it to anyone? But Master Dutong came along with his writ.
Yeah, it seems a bit shady if you know what I mean. But I'm surprised she just kind of just went along with it. I guess he must have sounded all important like and all that. Check the writ to make sure it was real. I'm going to speak to Dukong about this. I don't have time for your problems. Did you check the writ to make sure it was real?
Now, why would I do such a thing? I can't even imagine anyone being so horrible they'd forge an imperial writ. No, I'm sure the land belongs to Master Dutong.
Wow, you are completely naive. If that's the case, then Dukong does seem like sorry, I scratched the mic. Seems like kind of a dick. You don't know what that is. Technically, if I was going pure Discord, I'd be like, I don't care about your problems, but I'll speak to Master Dukong about this.
That is very nice of you, my child, but what could you do? I would love to have my tea house back, but it belongs to Master Dutong now. You can't argue with an imperial writ. All this talk is just the rambling of an old woman. Put it out of your head and enjoy yourself. It may not be mine anymore, but this is still a fine tea house.
Looks like we got a new quest. We got to talk to Dutong about that if we want to. So, all right. Well, in this episode, we learned a bit more about Hui and her lost years of suffering under Master Li, and the possible affection she never got. But I guess working for a higher power or purpose is all the reward it needs. So, in the next episode of Jade Empire 2, we'll continue exploring Tian's Landing, probably finish up the tea shop before anything else, and see if we can do something about that writ, whether giving it back to Quan or perhaps another method. So, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.